never count your gifts as indefinite. That is to say, they don't always last forever. In fact, if you don't use them, they won't last very long at all, because there's a principle in the scriptures, a kind of a use it or lose it principle. So, if we don't cultivate and utilize, employ, as the scripture says, our gifts for the common good, they're going to evaporate. And so part of my calling, the calling of the ministerial staff, is to help call forth these gifts and to cultivate them and to help you discover your own giftedness. And it's interesting that through the phases and stages of our lives, the Spirit evokes different gifts at different times in our lives. And that's a beautiful thing to see happen. There's no closure point in the spiritual life where you can say, well, I quit discovering who I am. I quit learning new things. I think Margot was a great illustration that a lady who's over 40 went back and entered into a very rigorous academic program and started kind of a new track in her life. And I've seen many of you do that in different ways. Creatively, artistically, whatever it is. And so the Spirit calls forth or evokes different gifts in our life at different times. And when we're past the point where we can no longer create in the way we used to create, or work in the way we used to work, or serve in the way we used to serve, then God will evoke new gifts. What about the gift of wisdom? When you're too old to do, you think you're too old to do anything that's useful. The gift of wisdom. What a beautiful gift. The gift of discernment. The gift of prayer. The gift of leadership. These are remarkable things at any age. So this is our trust that we have here. What we've seen today is a part of our trust, what the Bible calls our stewardship of the manifold grace of God. We've been entrusted with these things. And we need to take care of them, and we need to cultivate them, and we need to use them. And we need to understand that they're not just for our own edification, our own self-interest, but God has given us these things for a reason, to inspire other people, to help make the world a better place, to contribute to the community of faith. And when I see artists or people who create things understand that and offer that to the world, it's so inspiring to me. You know, I was at a concert last night, and I just turned 40-something, and Connie gave me some tickets to a concert at the Van Wezel. Were you there? All right, the Moody Blues. Anybody know the Moody Blues here? All right. Now you have to understand, I've been listening to these guys since I was 16 years old. 4 decades of rock and roll. And not only rock and roll, but another group that was instrumental in my own spiritual kind of evolution. And they're still doing it. They're inspiring generations of people through their music. And I think they must see it that way, because they don't look bored with what they're doing. I don't think it's just about the money for them anymore. And these lyrics still dripping with meaning and truth. Now, isn't life strange? A turn of the page? A book without lines, unless with love we write? Oh, gosh. 4 generations. And the drummer, who happens to live in Tampa, was reflecting on those 4 generations, those 4 decades, I should say, those 4 decades of music, and he said, when I started, my hair was brown and my teeth were white, and now everything's just the reverse. I thought that was great. But that's the gift they offer to the world, and we all have it. We all have one. We've all been imparted. Something has been given to us. We all have that kind of gift in our own way. So thank you for contributing, participating, and considering that act of discovery and claiming those gifts as we go forward together.